So yes, so that was the function that you have to, and then when another function we had to create in our last session, that was add character. So add character function does what? It basically adds up the characters, whatever is basically is being presented to them. So that is another function that has been defined with a module exported, and it says that character dot is hero, character dot data dot is hero true false. So again, is hero is being set by checking this ternary operator. I hope you probably know about that. So question mark, if that hero assign true, if not hero assign false to is hero. And then id is character id plus length plus 1. So of course, always I'll be just increasing an id of 1, characters dot push, and we will just push that characters and then resolve. So these are the two functions that typically were introduced over there. And then if I ask you, so this was our program where we just were getting the heroes, we are just adding the characters, right? And to add the characters, we are just opening up a file, add character.html, if you have followed that up. And then so now let me just run this all and show you. So first of all, you remember why I'm doing that, because this is a base file for our work today. So characters, when I say characters, so all those characters that I have defined in my JSON file are coming up over here. If I see, I have got these files, these characters, right? Two of them hero, two of them not, and this is false, this is true. So all these characters are shown over here in a very vague manner. Why I'm saying vague manner? That it will be just different thing. So this was one of the path that we're talking about. And then we have character slash add. So it means we should be able to add a character as well. Let's see that if it is working. Not picture, I'll talk about picture as well. Add. So when I want to add a new character, I'm taking Bob now, just to change the name. Bob at gmail.com, and hero is, for example, Bob is also hero. Submit file. Do you people see the character added? It's not in that the right sequence it is representing, but it's character ID 5. This 5 has come from where? Of course, automatic generated. I have given this logic in my data service, and this not data service. I'm sorry, in server, or where did I give that logic? Yeah. So here. So what I've done is that when you are adding a character, I've just given this logic over here that whenever you have this character ID, you just add previous length 1. So it is adding one length, and not only after adding one length, it's doing what? It's just generating that new Bob character, right? So if I just so this is now this is just now showing us the characters. Okay, so what was the other thing that we have done? So the other thing that we have done is the add character that I've just checked. So if I add a character, of course, so I've posted the character. So whenever I post a character, it will do what? It will add character function. It will just call data.add character function and just add that character and redirect us to the character, right? Then we talked about another path, add pic. If you want to add a picture. So here something interesting, important, that we have created a public folder where we have created a photos folder, and we want to just add the photos to over here. But again, here what we are doing is that whenever user accesses add pic path, do what? Just go and show them add data.html. This is our add data.html. So let's go to this path, character slash add pic, add picture. So now I've just taken this one. So now basically here you can just add another user. And to add another user, I'm saying Christina, for example, and Christina, whatever, Christina at gmail.com, password ABC, photo ID. Now, so basically what I want to do here is that I want to add a photo of, again, for example, the Christina or whatever. Let's see if I can find out a JPG over here. This should be somewhere. Okay, this is one JPG, which is just okay, and right. Do we have any pictures somewhere? .jpg, or we can just quickly have a new picture, no problems. Right. So just added a picture, and now I will have this picture being used. So let me just rename ABC. So ABC2, it has been renamed, no problems. So now I want to choose this one. So I go to my downloads, I find that, I should find that over here. It is not here. It has just done very bad thing. Oh, somewhere back. Yeah, there are lots of pictures. We can take any one of them. Why not? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Okay, just take anything, anything about. So I've just taken a .jpg, any random .jpg, and that's random.jpg is coming over here. Now, basically what is happening is that this was the page, that register user page, which shows all the information that data has been sent. Your data form was name Christina, username something, email is this one at Gmail, password ABC, your file, and this one is the picture that has been coming up over here, whatever picture, forgive me about that. So now, not only this happens, that there is another interesting thing which has happened over here. And what is that? In this photos folder, I have got this photo added over here, right? This photo has been added over here. So basically what we are saying is that we have this file running. So now what I'm expecting from you people is that you all have this type of form being created. So picture is also being added. We can add the picture as well. So you can use this one, and you are just adding those pictures and all those things. So Armin, did you reach to this point? Like, again, in your code, are you with all these things available? This picture is being uploaded, it is coming inside that, because there is something that I want to give you people, because that will be very much of help, but I'll give you on your own. You people can do that, and that. So I mean, did you reach to this point? Like, again, you have this document till this point, that you can add the character and you can do all those things over here, right? Okay, yes. So Armin is basically on that point. So that's good. So now what we want to do is that I want to just scaffold on that one, and we will be working on something like, for this week, the topic for today is basically this, the week 6 topic we'll talk about. And week 6, we are talking about template engines. So what I understand is that Alex, look like at least, in that in our Thursday session, I think there are more people than this one. It looks like a normal sequence now, that people are more in quantity, at least in the Thursday session. But anyhow, let's let's discuss few things, and might be I'll just keep it a very short today, so that we just move back on Thursday, and I can just, we can just have a quick session with over there. But anyhow, so so we are talking about week 6, and now we'll be talking about the template engines. Express is powerful library for helping us create web server in Node.js. In very few lines of code, we can send, receive data, very straightforward, easy to understand. Recall our first example, we were able to create 2 routes about each corresponding. So, Express gives us this facility. It's just, they are just making ground for our, handlebars, template engine. So basically, to create 2 paths is very easy in Express. You see, you just give a, default route, default path, and give some data, maybe in HTML or something. It will just go and bring that data. In the same way, you just give another path of about, and it will just go and it will just go and just show you the about data or about file, whatever. If you have stored that somewhere in the directory, week2 asset, something like the about.html, or maybe you can send a simple HTML. So Express provides us this facility of doing that. We make use of a get method and the object app object to define a route called a callback function that's executed when the route is encountered. We can leverage the second parameter res to send either an HTML formatted string or static HTML page. So we are sending in this one, we are sending HTML, raw HTML, and here we are sending an HTML page. Here by joining or by using this path, and here by just sending us the HTML, and we can just do that. We can just send that HTML over there. If we wanted to send JSON formatted data, we can use the following. So you remember, we have talked about that. If we have to send that JSON data, what we do is that we'll be just defining the data in some way or other. And if I give you this example over here, we have just talked about that, how to send that JSON data. So you see, when I say characters, characters, so basically, if I just show you this one, when I say characters, I want to access character. I'm accessing get all characters. And if I go to the definition of this get all characters, you see that this function is doing what? It is going and communicating with our file of data and bringing up that file over here. So you remember, for initialization, it goes to the file characters.json, bring up that data, and after bringing up that data, if you see here, after bringing up that data, sorry, get all characters, yes, get all characters. So this just checks for that and just returns that characters data to us. And what we do over here is that we just receive that data, and if that data is received, you see, we use this JSON function to retrieve that data, to convert that into JSON and show it to user. So the data that you see here, when you are just accessing characters, is basically this this data, this raw data. This is a JSON file, right? So it means that the JSON, and here they have given the JSON in the direct form, some data equal to something like this, and name is equal to age and something like that. So this is the data. This will return the JSON formatted string. So when we do this .json, it returns the JSON formatted string, something like that. Inverted commas in front, like surround around the fields, inverted commas around the values, around the field and around. So again, this is an integer value, around the field, around the values. And it's basically what we'll find this useful on when we discuss AJAX and RESTful API. So we'll talk about that more in detail. But here we want to discuss something else. We will find this useful later. So the important thing to notice here is that our server can return HTML formatted strings, static HTML files, and JSON data, right? However, what if we want to return a valid HTML5 page to the client that actually references some data stored on the server? The point to be noted, data is stored on the server. So they're asking, what if you happen to know that you have got some data that is stored on server. You want to bring that data, stick that data into an HTML file, into a view file, HTML file, whatever, and then you send that file rather than sending raw JSON data, or rather than sending raw JSON file, raw HTML file. I hope that makes sense to everyone. So rather than sending JSON separately, sending HTML separately, why not have something that can accommodate the logic of HTML, or you can call it base of HTML, and the data logic as well, and data is being shipped with that. I hope that's making sense to you people. So one solution would be to build out a string content. So if I want to do that, I have many ways, like multiple ways. Yes, exactly, dynamic content. So I have many ways for that. One of the ways, see here, very interesting way. They say that if it is the data, something like this, some data is equal to name John, age 23, occupation developer, company Scotiabank, and I want to convert that into an HTML string, into an HTML data. What I do, HTML string, var HTML string is equal to inverted commas doc type HTML plus HTML head title. So say here view data. So now what we are doing, that we are just mentioning table borders equal to 1, table th td. See here. So I have embedded, or I have concatenated my HTML code with some of the Java JSON code. So this JSON code, some data.name, some data.age, some data.occupation, it basically refers to what? It refers to the variables or the values stored in this JSON data. So what I've done, I've created a string. Typically, I've created a string and I've named it HTML string. So this is one good way. And do what? Send this HTML string. Looks good. Rather, it looks a potential solution to our problem. What was our problem? That we did not want to send HTML and dynamic and the content separately. We wanted to have dynamic content on HTML, combine HTML with the dynamic content and send that. So this is one good way of doing that. Create a string. So from this point to this point, there is one string, concatenating, embedding different things inside that. One of them is the data which you want to send to the other file and all those things. And then you are just combining them and then sending this. But do you think, do you understand, do you feel that this would be a pain in the large amount of data? You know, when we have complex HTML files, it might become a pain to just take care of how string is going about. And that will create a pain again. It's never easy to create strings in this way. A string that can embed the HTML content, that can embed the JSON content. It's never an easy task. So rather what we do is that while this works with send and valid HTML5 containing our data block to the client, it's clearly not the best way to approach this problem. What if we had a complex page that contains data in different places throughout the layout? We would be building an enormous string containing normal, static, and in a few places inserting a reference to our data, some data object. Wouldn't it be great if we could just write a normal HTML document that references the data instead of having to build a huge string for a whole page? Are you convinced on templates? Because they are taking us where? To the templates. That when this data will become more and more complex, you need to have more and more static HTML, you need to have more and more normal HTML, you need to have more and more references of data like that. So if you happen to have required these things, this will become a pain. So to solve this pain, to solve this problem, we have got something called template engines. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now see here, template engine. Fortunately, we can leverage template engines with Express to solve this exact problem from Express.documentation. So we use what the template engines for this purpose. And one of the template engine that we are talking about here is the handlebars.js. We're talking about handlebars.js. It's a very interesting one. It's very much related to HTML and you'll enjoy working with that. So we can leverage template engines with Express. Just open up this link. Let's see what they say. Template engines with Express. So, you know, it's from the documentation. Enables you to use static HTML files in your application. At runtime, the template engine replaces the variables in a template file with actual values and transform the template into an HTML file sent to the client. This approach makes it easier to design an HTML page. Of course, this will make our life very easy and we'll have a template. You know, template has, of course, the same meaning as we see template in our real lives, that a file that has been defined as a structural representation, and you just plug in the data, just plug in, bring the data and plug in that into the template and just run that and execute that one. Some popular template engines with Express are Pug, Mustache, EJS. Express application generator uses Jade as its default, but it also supports several others. So there are lots of template engine being used, and sometimes you will find some useful over the others, or sometimes you will find someone easy over the other. So you might feel that Mustache is basically more attracting me because I have the big mustaches, right? Anyhow, if you feel that you find that Pug is more better than the others, you have EJS is better. So again, it's up to you, and you can always use any one of them. So anyhow, these are the template engines. So this is the definition that we have talked about. This sounds like exactly what we need. However, there are many different template engines that you can choose from, given that all strong HTML developers from our experience. So given that we are all strong HTML developers, so we have worked in HTML too much, in Web 2.2, and we have been working one way or other in our Web 3.2 as well. So we have got this facility of that. Will be, why not use a template engine that leverages this experience and works with regular HTML rather than describing HTML. So this will be the handlebar that we are about to discuss is more, resembled to our everyday HTML, our general HTML that we talk about. So that is one motivation behind that, why we are choosing template engine over the others, why we are choosing that, right? So introducing handlebars. Handlebar does just that, plus many other features that help us to generate HTML that renders complex data. For example, consider the problem with our view data route from above. We can leverage the handlebars template engine, write a simple separate HTML5 document that references the data using the handlebars, curly braces, double. So now be ready to put thousands of curly braces now. Has any one of you used these handlebars before? Any experience, Alex, before, or Armin? Armin does not have. Alex, do you have any idea, or you've used? Oh yeah, so you have used the other ones. Okay, so but here you'll have to just put a dozen of curly braces if you want to work on handlebars. So you know the concept about the template engines, of course. So but again, this here it will be. So to begin, create in your file in your views directory and name it viewdata.hbs. So we can create a. So this is these are they are telling their way, and I will be just taking my own example that I'll just discuss. So they say that just create a file viewdata.hbs and just create a file something like this. View data, a simple HTML file. And here only what is happening, the same thing that we were embedding over here, some data.name. So here what we are doing, double curly braces data.name, double curly braces .age, double curly braces occupation and company. So far so good. A simple HTML page having the logic of variables with it. Interesting. Now our HTML will start looking like more a logic driven page. Why? Because this is saying, okay, so this is a simple HTML page, this is a simple table header and the simple table headings. So we have got this table headings, and here we have simple TDs, but no, these are not simple TDs. Rather, they are accommodating something that we are familiar with the name of variables to, so to speak. We are familiar with the variable thing. So we are basically saying that it's basically more related to the variable sort of thing. So this is data.name, data.age, data.operation. So basically it will be just, this is much cleaner approach. We no longer have to generate the full page as a string within our view data route. And most importantly, all of our view logic, HTML, is separate from our control logic routing. Routing becomes different, and this is our only view page. I hope you people know about MVC. Of course, you would have heard about that. You would have studied about that. Yes. Alex, I was expecting a yes from you. What about Armin? Yes. So Armin, did you have a chance to look at MVC, Model View Controller, something? Okay, so you did not have a chance. No problem. No problem. So can you just explain, Alex, what is MVC, just for Armin and me myself also? How do you understand MVC? Yeah. So Model View Controller, and for everyone's information, the view is basically the area where we'll just put on our all views. Exactly. Model is the data, view is what you see, controller well controls everything, of course. So this very much sums up this model. So Model View Control is a very popular, what you call it, a design pattern, or whatever you call it, the pattern that you use. And here we are just talking about that pattern in that sense, that we say that we are creating the views of our data over here. So we have just created a view data, and this view will be separate from our control logic. So control logic is, again, we are talking about controlling. So we are separate from the controlling. This is our view logic, and our model will be stored somewhere else. Our data is basically this data will be coming from some file, right? So we'll talk about that. So one important thing, that file should be named as HBS, handlebars, right? Handlebars is the acronym for that. Now, first thing that we need to do is that to download, install handlebars package with npm, open a terminal. So what we have to do, I'm just taking, and I've just created this week 6 file, and I have just everything from the behind, like the previous one. Now I am just doing that, what is happening. So again, as I said, today I'll just keep it a bit small, and I'll be just wrapping up in few minutes. So what we need to do, of course, if you see, the first thing we need to install Express handlebars, right? The name. So Express handlebars, so that I'm not making a mistake. Okay. So install that one, Express handlebars. We'll just set it up today and we'll discuss on Thursday. Luckily, if we have many people over there. So we have installed that one. And again, I'm not using the same example as we discussed over here, but again, now we need to update our server.js, and we need to require that as well. Express handlebars, we need to require that as well. Just go back to your file. So it's what? Express handlebars, EXP HBS equal to Express handlebars. We are just requiring that one. As I said, we are making this ground for ourselves. Our server needs to know how to handle HTML. This is very important. Our server needs to know how to handle these HTML files that are formatted using handlebars. So near of the top, our code, after we define app, add these lines. So we need to add these lines. And what are these lines? I'll discuss that. First of all, let's just copy and paste them into our code. After app, remember, so we usually do that mistake. If we'll do that before, of course, this app, so we'll be not good about that. So now I'm saying, what are these two lines doing? They say that app engine, what we'll be using is .hbs. The extension will be .hbs handlebars, and this exp, this HBS reference and extension name is .hbs. We'll just define a property inside over there. So this is just telling us that what type of files we are about to use, calling this xbbhs over here, HBS. And then app.set view engine.hbs, and we are setting up the view engine.hbs. So it means now we have to just do what? These two lines will just tell our browser, our runner, runtime environment, that we are running .hbs syntax. So this is basically what this will tell our server, that any file with .hbs extension instead of .html, we use the handlebars engine template engine. So any file with that .hbs extension will use the handlebars engine template engine. So it will just use that handlebars template engine, right? So we are already done with these steps. The first step was installing that. Second step, requiring that one, of course, the file for that one, express handlebars xhbs, and then we have just told it that whenever .hbs file comes, what will be the view engine? The handlebars will be the engine handling all those things, right? So now, after that, what we'll do, so we are just looking at their example. As I said, I'll be doing my example and not today, in our next class. So you see here, view data. If we are looking at the view data, so this is some data, and what we do is that render view data and go and file this view data file, and this view data has data is equal to some data. We are passing this some data to it, layout false, and I'll discuss that layout false, because if we do not use the default layout, it's here. So now what is happening? View data. What is that view data? This is our view data.hbs. Remember, we have just created that file. So what we are doing, render, whenever user comes to this page, define this data, this JSON data, and do what? This data, and do what? Render the view data file by passing these two properties. The first property, data, some data. What data I want to send? This some data. And layout colon false, please remember to add this one. It basically tells, as it says, do not use the default layout main.hbs. It basically looks for a default layout called main.hbs. If we do not have a main.hbs defined, and we don't want sometimes, so what you do is that you say false, I will be using my own syntax. So this one is using its own HBS format, data format. So it is basically to deny it to go for a main file, just denying the default file. Now you see here, Now the router no longer returns a string consisting of an HTML plus data using res.send, but instead it invokes the render method, this one, of the response object, response rendered. We pass the name of our new file without the extension view data. So without extension, we just pass the name of the file instead of view data.hbs, of course, without extension, and data object to hold all our data subdata. The data object is to hold. Newer version of Express handlebars require the layout to be explicitly set to false if not using the default layout. Sees layout, default layout below. So again, we will just talk about that. We can just do that one as well. So does that make sense? We are just basically trying to create a file, create a template, and here we are just passing that data to the template, and this data will be passed to this one, and not only passed to this one, but of course it will go and find out what is the name being used, data.name, data.age, data.occupation, data.company name. Is that right? So this is basically, this will be handling what? The data part of it, because some data has been passed, passed as this data. You got the point? Now, what we will be doing in our application, as I said, I won't be following this one, the example. What we'll be doing, this page that we are running over here, as we see that these characters are coming in a very raw fashion. There is, okay, what's our stop? In a very raw fashion, they're coming. Yes, stop. So this is start. Oh yeah. So now in a very vague fashion, this data is coming, and I do want to have this data into a very, formatted one. So we'll talk about that. We can do that by using the handlebars template. So what you need to do, at least out of you, Alex, so you need to be ready with this file till this point for the next class. And I am expecting that you might be ready with it already, but a file that is working all these things for you, you should be ready with that. What I'll do today, just to create interest for everyone, what I'll do is that I'll share this file, this server file only, not the rest of the files, and I'll ask everyone to just go for the rest of the files and share this video as well. So people should be coming up with this file in the next class, so that we can just talk about this these handlebars in a specific details. Is that clear to you, Alex, and everyone? Okay. So what I'm doing is here is, as I said, because again, it looks like we have